Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 3. We would like to present our financial management presentation about merger and acquisition. The members of Group 3 are Ardiva Budisetiawati, Putri, Yasmin, Aulya, and Rifka, Indri, Aulya. The first will be explained by Rifka about merger.
In simple terms, a merger is when two or more companies of the same scale decide to merge into a new entity. In this merger, the companies agree to transfer ownership. The transfer of ownership can be done by cash payment or share transfer. In other words, the two merging companies release their share. Then issues new share as a new company. Next, the purpose of the merger. First, achieve synergy. Merger is one way to achieve synergy. The reason is, after the merger, the company can bring in greater profit for shareholders. If they can work in unison, synergies will be achieved so as to increase business value of a merger company. Second, reducing risks from diversification. At some point, companies need to diversify both product and operational diversification. Unfortunately, the diversification step cannot be carried out just like that because the risk of loss borne by the company is generally not small. For example, company X is already attached to the image of particular product. However, sales of this product have started to stagnate because they have reached the end point in the product life cycle. So diversification is necessary. Next, third, increase financial capacity. The company financial problems often become the background for various important decisions, including mergers, to save the unfavorable financial situation. A merger can be a solution. However, a company doesn't have to be in a bad financial position to do a merger. Fourth, tax adjustment. There are companies with a fairly large tax liability. On the other hand, there are companies with compensation for tax losses that are also quite large. If the two companies are merged, the total tax liability will be consolidated. Usually the calculation of the final tax payable will be smaller than when each company was independent.
The next will be explained by me about merger benefit. First is to increase market share, lowering operational costs, prevent replication and elimination of competitors, business expansion to new areas, and the last is avoid bankruptcy. Next is example of merger. The first, Indonesian Islamic Bank. The merger decision, which was still warm, had just occurred in early 2021, and the merger process involved three large state-owned banks, namely BRI Syariah, Bank Mandiri Syariah, and BNI Syariah. The three state-owned by entities merged to become Bank Syariah Indonesia with total asset of more than 240 trillion. The second is Toyota Astra Motor. You must be familiar with Toyota, one of the importers of vehicles with its superior product MPV, which is in great demand in Indonesia. In fact, the Toyota you know today is a merger of four companies, namely PT Toyota Astra Motor, PT Toyota Mobilindo, PT Multi Astra, and PT Toyota Engine Indonesia. Next, about acquisition. Definition of acquisition according to the expert. Definition of acquisition according to Michelle A. Heath is acquisition is one way to buy or acquire another company by buying most of the existing shares in the target company. Definition acquisition according to P.S. Sudarsanan is acquisition is an agreement where a company buys shares or asset from another company and the shareholders of that company will be the target of the acquisition. So they will stop being the owner of the stock or the company. Next will be explained by Rifka.
Acquisition is one step to buy part of or all of a company. Either is from user or asset owned. Later, buyers or so-called acquirers will gain control over the companies they acquire. This method is usually done by a large company to startups. Acquisitions can be said to be a good move with or without approval. Under one condition, the acquiring company may teach the acquiring company to make an acquisition proposition. If the acquirer does not agree with this term, the acquisition will not occur. Meanwhile, on other condition, the acquirer can also take advantage of the proxy vote so that the acquirer agree with the acquisition plan. Proxy vote is a condition which the acquirer persuades the owner of the acquired stock to repledge its board of direction with people who agree with the acquisition plan. Next. Type of acquisitions. First is asset acquisition. In this type of asset acquisition, one company directly takes over the asset of another company. Companies whose assets are acquired must be able to obtain permission from shareholder. Usually, the takeover of the test assets occur when a company fetches bankruptcy. Other company will follow the acquisition process of the asset of the bankrupt company, which has undergone a liquidation process. The next type is management acquisition. Management acquisition, a company executive in one company becomes a controlling shareholder in another company and makes the company shareholding their own. Executive of this company will usually work with finance or former senior executive in other companies to help fund this transaction. Next. Benefit of making acquisition. This is promotes faster growth and next reduce competition. Next.
We think that's all. Sorry for our mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.